Ok, vi skal ta oss og sjekke ut en ny GTA 6-video. Den videoen her handler egentlig om hvordan GTA 6 mest sannsynlig vil forandre gaming for alltid, både når det kommer til realisme, innlevelse og den åpne verden. Så jeg har ikke sett videoen selv, så jeg tror det er veldig, veldig mye nyttig og god info i den videoen her, så jeg anbefaler veldig å følge med. Videoen er fra en YouTuber som heter Legacy Kill HD. Jeg legger link til kanalen i beskrivelsen hvis noen vil sjekke den ut.
It goes without saying that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to make for a very revolutionary moment for the video game industry. This isn't just a moment for gamers that have been eagerly awaiting this launch for years now.
True.
It's also this gaming industry looking at Grand Theft Auto 6 to pave the way for the next generation of gaming, the same way that Red Dead Redemption 2 redefined open world gaming years ago, and even years before that, Grand Theft Auto 5. It's easy to take for granted these games now, especially, you know, they've been out years, but they really did mean something when they did launch. And the gaming industry...
Jeg tror fortsatt ikke vi har noen spill som egentlig er på det nivået som Red Dead Redemption 2 er på, når det kommer til realisme, verden, innlevelse. Det er ganske nykt. For de som ikke vet det, Rockstar er også de som har laget Red Dead Redemption 2. Jeg går ut for at de fleste vet det. Altså de samme som lager GTA 6 da.
Over the years has learned many lessons from the design and the technology that Rockstar Games introduced within those games, and even the games before them. So with Grand Theft Auto 6, even with the debut trailers, still people are analyzing and talking about just the small details and getting excited for all of the potential within this game, because that's what Rockstar is known for, that attention to detail. Like instantly with the debut trailer, the first thing that really got my attention was the sand on people's feet, a small dog running around, so much life, so much activity within the open world. And then even in the second trailer, people were talking about the cloth simulation for clothing, in which you can see people's individual clothing, just little pieces moving here and there. This isn't things that you see normally from any studio. That's why Rockstar Games stands at the top, the pinnacle of the video game industry. And even the water physics that was also shown off, just the beauty of that is something that so many developers struggle with, and recently Crimson Desert kind of redefined what really can be expected from water physics. Maybe Rockstar Games ups it with Grand Theft Auto 6 later this year. That is a question that remains, but back to that debut trailer, we also got our first look at car deformation physics, something that was kind of missing from Grand Theft Auto 5, and I think people also forget that we have not had a new Grand Theft...
Når nevner fysikk, jeg leste det at det har vært et eget team som har jobbet kun med hvordan bilrutene, altså fysikken rundt bilrutene, og hvordan de knuser, eller blir ødelagt. Og det skal de jobbe på i sånn 2-3 år. Et eget team som kun jobber med det. Da kan man tenke seg litt hvilket detaljnivå som kommer til å bli i det spillet her.
Theft Auto games since 2013. Obviously, they've had improvements and upgrades that they've introduced to Grand Theft Auto 5, but we have not had a true Grand Theft Auto game made for, well, these days, in well over a decade now, and that does mean a lot. Still though, Rockstar Games understands the challenge that is presented right now, and that is that GTA 6 is the most highly anticipated game of all time, and they are investing. There's been already some leaks indicating that they're going to be spending $2 billion. Right now, some people talking about it's probably going to be closer to $3 billion spent on this once it's all said and done.
Det är så insane. Det är så insane. Hvis det faktisk kommer opp i 3 billioner. Jeg har sett liksom det også. Det er insane. Jeg er veldig nysgjerrig på om det gjelder det i hovedsak storydelen, eller er det da inkludert online-delen, Project Rome, for de som har hørt om det, og de tingene der også. Vi får sikkert vite mer om det senere.
And I think the results and even some of the teases that we've seen in the footage so far, it shows the money that's being invested just to every single aspect of the experience to make it one of the most immersive open world single player story driven games ever, on top of a massive multiplayer component which is probably going to be launching afterwards. Still though, even with Grand Theft Auto 6's debut footage, a lot of people had discussions like, this isn't real, this is like the EA's, this is the Ubisofts, but people forget that Grand Theft Auto 5 once upon a time time, we had Michael DeSantis looked weird in trailer 1. Then by the final game, looked completely different. Same thing with Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2's debut trailer, looked drastically different by the game's release. And that's the thing, Rockstar Games actually incorporates in-game footage in their debut trailers. This isn't like a studio trying to hide things. They're trying to show you the true experience, and also this is just some of the magic of the Rage engine, that they can give us a massive glimpse into the experience, and one of the rare examples of a studio in which the trailers and the gameplay that's going to come soon and later on, it's going to improve, it's going to look even better. And again, some of these expectations, some of these assumptions that people make about Rockstar Games and Grand Theft Auto 6 really just says a lot about the video game industry and what's happened the last decade or so with the various trailers, demos, and gameplay and everything that we've seen in marketing material. And this is actually the perfect segue to the sponsor of this video, Ludio. So this has to be one of the most impressive and interesting technologies that I hope takes off. You've seen time and time again from this gaming industry a trailer or some sort of footage that looks too good to be true. And the obvious answer should be that you have players immediately be able to play what they saw. And sometimes there is a demo there, maybe a couple weeks later, or maybe right before launch, but why not instantly? And that is exactly what Ludio is striving towards, turning gameplay moments into instantly playable experiences in your own browser. No download or install, just a simple click and then play. But why this technology is so exciting is here, I have the link here in the browser, RoboCop Rogue City, and here I click to start, and immediately I can play this mission, I can encounter, and
det där har jag faktiskt aldrig hört om.
There you go, get a taste of the experience. Just imagine this on a wide scale. Right now, Ludio is currently in beta and already working with studios including Relic Entertainment, IO Interactive, Krafton, Bloober Team, and others. This could be the start of a new era of transparency for gamers, all while helping them better try and play new games. But a creative technology like this only becomes normalized and widely used with your support. Do that by trying it out for yourself today. Use my link in the description down below and join their Discord and help this tech truly take off. Thank you again to Ludio for sponsoring this video. After the second trailer of Grand Theft Auto 6 was launched, we had all sorts of reaction coming from this industry. We did hear actually from the Digital Foundry folks who took a little bit more of a detailed look at what Grand Theft Auto 6 was cooking up, and they acknowledged the astonishing detail, but they voiced some skepticism about 60 FPS. This is kind of a big thing nowadays. A lot of people expect that with their games. And I think
det litt sånn, foreløpig det vi vet, så kan det virke som at det kun vil være PlayStation 5 Pro som vil klare å kjøre GTA 6 på 60 FPS. Jeg håper selvfølgelig at alle konsolene kan klare det, men jeg har mine tvil. For min del så er jeg veldig ferdig med 30 FPS. Det å spille noe i 30 FPS, nesten uansett hvilken type spill det er jeg ferdig med. Og for veldig, veldig lenge siden. Det blir for seigt å gå tilbake. Men det er en annen diskusjon.
Crimson Desert recently shows that definitely with the scale and size that is possible on consoles, especially the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Now, though, it is interesting, though, there has been some recent leaks saying that Grand Theft Auto 6 may actually be running at 60 FPS, at least on the PlayStation 5 Pro. We'll have to see if that also carries over to the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. But look, Rockstar Games is known for their wizardry, and I would not be surprised to see that as a feature for the game, especially because I think that is really key to the enjoyment of these experiences, the performance. And performance is becoming more of a prioritization, especially in gamers' minds when it comes to these launches these days. And Rockstar Games has shown over the years that there is a prioritization within the company for optimization, at least with their new games, their new experiences. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 launched in a very stable state, and it ran pretty darn well. And that can't be said about a lot of AAA launches these days. Now, though, Grand Theft Auto 6, especially on the engine side, there's been a lot of discussion about the changes we're going to be seeing from Grand Theft Auto 5 to Grand Theft Auto 6 with the massive gap between launches. And obviously, Red Dead Redemption 2 gave us our first indication of the ways that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be improved. I mean, you can see that just with the clouds, the volumetric clouds, that's going to be huge there. And this...
Akkurat nå så tenkte jeg nødt til å få spilt gjennom Red Dead Redemption 2 en gang til. Hvis det er noen som ikke har spilt det spillet, så har ikke de med å si.
This was actually a discussion recently from a former developer of Rockstar Games who said that the game would probably be rebuilt. The entire Rage engine was going to be rebuilt for GTA 6. These remarks are coming from former audio engineer Rob Carr, who said in a recent interview,
to get to this stage, they've probably rebuilt the entirety of the Rage engine. That's the only thing I can say with real, genuine confidence. I'll be amazed if they didn't, because the architecture of technology has advanced significantly since GTA 5, which again, easy to forget.
I think people do forget to really remember that. That's what the game was built for, that technology, the 360 and PlayStation 3. Now, furthermore, it's just very interesting because while people have discussions about Grand Theft Auto 6, some people think it's overrated, overhyped, and whatever. It's very interesting when you hear from video game developers and how even they are extremely excited. One, because they want to play Grand Theft Auto 6, but also for how it's going to push the gaming industry forward. This is a recent report article coming from Games Radar in which GTA 6 will redefine player standards according to JRPG legends from Atlas, Square Enix, and Sega. It'll be a once-in-a-generation turning point. GTA 6, please release it. And this was actually a discussion that Japanese gaming outlet Famitsu had with 171 developers, in which they were asked about which games they're looking forward to the most, and Grand Theft Auto 6 was at the top of the list. Atlas director and producer Kazuyuki Yamei, best known for his work on numerous Shin Megami Tensei games, discusses how he thinks GTA 6 could raise the bar. I'm excited to see if GTA 6 will finally be released, and if it will raise the bar.
Jeg veldig overrasket hvis ikke de raise the bar, for å si det sånn. Jeg tror, da det spillet her kommer ut, så tror jeg 90% av alle andre spill vil ligge mange år tilbake igjen. Det tror jeg 100%.
CD Projekt Red's localization manager echoed the sentiment, asking, I wonder what innovations GTA 6 will bring. Meanwhile, legacy SNK art director Nobuyuki Kuroki is more sure of the upcoming game's impact. I'm looking forward to GTA 6. I think it will redefine player standards, and I have a feeling that it'll be a once-in-a-generation turning point for games. Another developer of Goddess of Victory, Nikkei director, saying the game I'm looking forward to in 2026 is GTA 6. Yu Hyung Seok saying, personally, I've been a fan since GTA 2, and every entry continues to surprise me, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth director Naoki Hamaguchi thinks it will influence his work. In 2026, I'm looking forward to the new entry in the GTA series. He says, as a creator myself, I'm inspired by the world's craftsmanship. Yakuza series director and producer Masayoshi Yokoyama puts his desires more simply, saying GTA 6, please release it. And furthermore, Saga director and designer Akitoshi Kawazu, the whole world has its sights on GTA 6. I think the content and scale will not disappoint. We will be paying attention to what players enjoy about it. And lastly, we had Level 5 CEO Akihiro Hino saying, I feel that GTA 6 will show us the next generation of gaming, and I'm looking forward to it. As hardware performance improves, I hope to see game development that was unthinkable in the past. And that is what many of these game developers think that Grand Theft Auto 6 will represent for this industry. Now, without a doubt, one of the most talked about features with Grand Theft Auto 6 after its second trailer was its jiggle physics. Yes, the jiggle physics. And this was actually a topic that was discussed recently by another former Rockstar Games developer, and this would be former Rockstar Games animator Mike York, who worked on GTA 5 and GTA Online, and he took part in a recent live stream with YouTuber TGG, and he speculated,
but most likely they put bones inside the character's butt.
Those bones work alongside the rest of Lucia's skeleton to allow Rockstar's
Wow, er ikke det sykt? Er ikke det sykt?
animators to program how much that part of the body is affected by physics and a movement, which in the case of that shot from the trailer seems like a lot and just an example of the attention of detail with Rockstar Games. But an indie game developer actually took this a step further with analyzing GTA 6's second trailer and really showing off all of the attention to detail and small details that really is going to define GTA 6. First, he talked about the muscles deforming realistically on characters. We haven't seen that type of detail with characters before. Car mirrors finally having realistic reflections. Light passing through glass produces refractions. Sweat drifts from characters' bodies. Beer forms realistic foam and bubbles. This is just minor things that most developers like Ubisoft and such are just not, they're not going to care about stuff like that. Cars can get really dirty. High quality volumetric clouds, last really seen with Red Dead Redemption 2 back in 2018. Here has some quite complex physics simulation. Body parts actually jiggle when characters move around, which, yeah, topic of discussion like I said a second ago. Individually molded coins in the cash register. Metal fence appears to have actual geometry. A raccoon caught rummaging through garbage. And yeah, there's just an example of probably all this little small activities that we'll see going on in the background of whenever we're driving through whatever part of Vice City. Blades of grass are individually modeled. Police car project light on the wall. Water realistically deforms as vehicles travel through it. The water rendering in general is said to be on another level, which I think this is just one of the things that so many people have really caught when they watch this footage in slow motion. Highly detailed explosions look better than ever. Leaves pile up in the corners of buildings. Parallax.
Det är så mye av det der jeg vet om mye av det, og jeg har sett noe selv, men det er også mange ting der jeg ikke lagt merke. Jeg har ikke tenkt over det selv en gang. Men det er jo egentlig helt insane. Når du begynner å tenke over det, og når de begynner å ramse det opp. Sånne små ting, men det har jo vanvittig mye å si.
Occlusion mapping on sand material, which is a really technical way of talking about the shader technique, the complex shader technique that they're using for sand here. The hair shader produces impressive results. And yes, they've gone to great lengths to make sure all characters have very defined hairstyles. High quality light flare and traffic density has increased significantly compared to prior games. And again, just has to be emphasized, going from the architecture of the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, which was what Grand Theft Auto 5 was originally built on, to what we have now with a game built for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. This is just going to be a drastically different experience in so many different regards. But furthermore, some of the more hidden stuff that we haven't heard about Grand Theft Auto 6 in terms of its technology actually came from a very interesting leak a couple of years ago from Rockstar Magazine. This is a French outlet, and they outlined some of the things that they had heard about in regards to Rage Engine upgrades. And they first talked about how the game physics, the water physically simulated in real time, better vehicle deformations, which we actually seen in some of the footage that will be part of the new Rage Engine for GTA 6. There's going to be more realistic time management from morning to day, evening, and night. The quality of rendering, textures, lighting, volumetric clouds, all improved. And artificial intelligence, interactions with NPCs, police reaction, that is going to be another big focus with the Rage Engine. Not really surprising when you consider the level of activity within Red Dead Redemption 2. You can really see how that can carry over to Grand Theft Auto 6.
Altså for å si det sånn, hvis jeg bare fått detaljnivået, realismen og det som I RDR2, hvis jeg bare fått et GTA-spill med det, så hadde jeg egentlig vært happy. Sånn helt ærlig.
And can be improved further. Now, first of all, they really talk about the physics of water. This is one of the big things of this league that was notable. They say for GTA 6, Rockstar Games has devised a revolutionary system for obtaining physically simulated water in real time. This has been done for years in film and 3D applications, but the rendering has never been real time, but that is going to be a focus for GTA 6. And years past, like Grand Theft Auto 5, they note, was illustrated entirely in wireframe. That constraint is no longer here, and even they speculate that the ocean will be playing an important role in GTA 6. So we've seen that with some of the leaks in which you can dive in the water, there's underwater activities, and they even talking about how surfing could be a possible feature in GTA 6, which would make sense for the Vice City setting. Now furthermore, they talk about
altså vann og sjø, hav, kall det hva du vil, kommer til å ha et ekstremt stort fokus I spillet, og det ser man også I traileren. De vil at vi skal se det. Jeg kom faktisk over en annen video her en dag der de fokuserer på alt som kommet ut av detaljer om vann, og det mye. Hvis noen interessert, så kan jeg gjerne hive ut en video om det også, men det ganske fascinerende. Så det kommer til å bli et stort fokus, det med vann I spillet.
the vehicle physics, how there's going to be many improvements made to vehicle physics thanks to a significant increase in the number of polygons compared to GTA 5, and this is going to enable Rockstar Games more precise deformations and by extension more realistic accidents when we're smashing into cars and such, which people have said over the years they thought Grand Theft Auto 4 handled it better versus GTA 5, and GTA 6 should be getting a massive upgrade in this area. And from now on, it's said that vehicle customization will impact not only the exterior, but also the driving experience. In any case, this is what Rockstar and the San Diego teams are aiming for with the new version of the Rage engine. And they give a little bit of an idea of, you know, other areas in which we could see the improvements made, such as installing a spoiler on your vehicle. And it may be proving useful for your handling during gusty storms. The balance between realism and arcade will be managed in such a way as to maintain a driving experience similar to that of GTA 5, and yeah, so don't worry about that key element of the game. And lastly, they talk about the weather system and how it's going to be impacting the game's environment.
Det blir så insane kult å se.
Which will batter vegetation and create waves that will disturb the peace and quietness of the beach. Rain and wind will affect your driving during high-speed travel. Sunrises and sunsets will be more realistic than ever, and nights more disturbing. There had been some leaks in the past saying that maybe Rockstar Games was trying to get tornadoes and hurricanes in the game. Seems like that may be one of those scrapped features, but still, weather and certain...
Jeg har sett også mye lik som det, og med flom, så kan bare, ja, som sagt, det er veldig liks, men det hadde vært veldig kult, I hvert fall hvis det kunne vært et event, så skjedde eventuelt det på storyen eller et eller annet, ikke noe som skjer hele tiden, selvfølgelig, men det blir spennende å se.
Weather events will impact the game, we know that for a fact. And another feature that we seemingly know about is Grand Theft Auto 6 loading times, at least between characters. You know, within Grand Theft Auto 5, there was that multi-seconds you'd have to pop out of the universe, and then you'd go from Michael to Franklin, or Trevor to Franklin, or Franklin to Michael.
Jeg føler egentlig ikke det var det største problemet når det gjaldt loading times I GTA 5. Loading times GTA 5 online, spesielt når du skulle joine en session, eller ut og inn, det tok lang tid da. Jeg følte ikke det tok så lang tid å skifte mellom karakterer, men det klart litt.
And it's one of those things that I don't think that was the intention from Rockstar Games. And especially based on the leaked videos that came from 2022, we very much had indication that Rockstar Games was trying to get rid of that. And one piece of the leaked footage that, again, people are talking about again, is that Jason and Lucia are in a motel within some of the leaked footage, and the game switches from Lucia to Jason in the literal blink of an eye, which many people believe that this is a promising sign for the game's overall load times. And I think that's going to be a key focus. Again, the optimization side has to be a massive focus for Rockstar Games this go-around. And look, another area in which people are going to be caring about is the AI. And people get scared when they hear about AI. They think generative AI, which is actually an area in which Rockstar Games and Take-Two Interactive have already come out and said that Grand Theft Auto 6 is not going to have any of that. No. This is a handcrafted experience, and they've already been spending years going down that route. Doesn't make sense to even get involved with any of that mess. But when we're talking AI, we're actually talking about the way that NPCs, how the world reacts to you. And many developers have struggled.
Jeg tror Rockstar kommer til å bruke AI på riktig måte. De kommer ikke til å overdo det, og som man sier, de allerede bekrefter. Ting her handcrafted. De kommer ikke til å bruke AI til å lage assets og sånne ting, men det mer for AI-en til å hjelpe at spillet blir enda mer immersive, og hvordan du interakter med NPC-er og de tingene der da.
With this. This is an area of technology that requires so much work, so much attention, and Rockstar Games is, again, one of those developers on the leading front of developing this and making it as realistic as possible, as evidenced just based on Red Dead Redemption 2 and how Arthur Morgan interacts with the population of all over the world. Now with Grand Theft Auto 6, we actually had patents years ago which caught the attention of a lot of users. Specifically, it was the fact that NPC AI was going to be seeing another massive upgrade in which AI-generated responses, moods, and animations based on events, atmosphere, other players, or NPC moods and situations. This is a focus for a new patent. And it was said that the basic description is that if an NPC is in the rain, it can have randomized actions around the rain/weather. If an NPC is drunk, they will respond in various ways based on what the AI will randomly tell that NPC what to do. And it's not a built-in animation free within the game. If you are another NPC or doing something crazy, the AI may tell NPCs to start recording you on their phones.
Og får de der veldig godt til, så vil ting føles mye mindre skriptet ut, egentlig. Og du kan ha så vanvittig mange flere variasjoner av det, som også fører til at det føles mindre plain skriptet da.
Etc. It's just that sense of realism that is so important. But another area that was actually talked about is the interiors and how this will also be impacted by the AI technology that Rockstar Games uses. It will have randomly generated interiors, meaning rooms/buildings will fit into styled categories/tags. A high-end apartment versus an old apartment, and would have specific asset styles as a result, new/worn/clean/dirty feel and styled elements within. It will have a general structure but have interchangeable features, objects, and elements that will generate and evolve over time. And I think the best way to think about this is Red Dead Redemption 2, in which when you go into Valentine, you can see various structures, various buildings, and they are built over time. Oh. And we're going to see that to some degree within Grand Theft Auto 6's open world and Vice City being built up and locations evolving. And further evidence of these patents actually influencing Grand Theft Auto 6's development and being utilized came from a LinkedIn profile of an engineer that is working on Grand Theft Auto 6, in which it was mentioned that they were going to be featuring procedural object generation, which does spell out to this interior AI patent that was found years ago. But even right now, the Grand Theft Auto 6...
Det er sykt det har vært, hvis du begynner å spille GTA 6, og så en eller annen plass i byen så har du en skyskraper som de for eksempel akkurat har begynt å bygge på, og så etter hvert som du kommer videre i storyen, og ja, tiden går da, så bygger den seg ferdig. Det har vært så insane kult.
Community continues to scour LinkedIn profiles, anything, anywhere they can find Grand Theft Auto 6 information, and they're finding stuff like procedural breakable glass for vehicles and props is found in the LinkedIn profile of a Rockstar Games developer. And it's also been said that Grand Theft Auto 6 Online is going to be a massive focus, and Rockstar is looking to Roblox, Fortnite, and TikTok for content creation platform expansion ahead of GTA 6. And user-generated content, this is going to be the next massive platform, and that is a massive focus for Rockstar Games long term.
Det han nevner der vel det som går under Project Rome, hvis ikke jeg tar veldig feil. Så de kommer til å prøve å gjøre noe lignende som Fortnite Creative og Roblox har gjort, der du på en måte nesten får din egen engine, og du kan lage deg game mods, og du kan gjøre sinnssykt mye forskjellig. Så det blir veldig interessant å se hva de får til der.
It does need to be mentioned that Grand Theft Auto 6 Online is said to be coming after the release of the game. So our first taste of Vice City and everything is going to be the single-player story component. And like Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar Games wants us to experience this world through that lens, through that story mode first.
Og jeg egentlig veldig mange vil sikkert si at det driter at ikke online-biten kom ut med en gang, men jeg litt glad for det. Nå det snakk om at det snakk om en måned etter release, og jeg setter bare pris på at jeg får en måned der jeg kan spille storyen og bruke god tid på det. For hadde begge to kommet samtidig, så i hvert fall sånn som jeg så hadde jeg blitt litt sånn, hva skal jeg begynne på? Jeg vil spille online også, jeg vil spille, og så blir det nesten for mye. Så jeg faktisk glad at ikke det kommer samtidig.
And then obviously the online is a whole different beast, but Rockstar Games is planning a revolutionary title with Grand Theft Auto 6. It really is just the question of when it comes about, but there's just so much innovation that game developers themselves are getting excited about because even they view this as the next generation of gaming. Hopefully, though, that does come this year in 2026, and maybe even some new footage in the coming weeks or months. But anyway, what do you make of Grand Theft Auto 6, the high expectations that are associated with the game? Let me know all your thoughts down below. But thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video, or if you found any informative value.
Bra video det der, uten tvil. Mye bra info. Mye jeg ikke visste om, spesielt når du har de litt mer små detaljerne. Lærer noe nytt hver dag. Hvis du er interessert i mer GTA 6-content, enten det reaction eller andre ting, så gjerne trykk en like på videoen. Gjerne abonner.